Good afternoon. Hello. I want to thank Beverly for the invitation to be here with the Gendercide Awareness Project and to share with you a little bit, not just about the importance of what you're doing, and want to thank you for that, but too to talk about some of the issues that we're seeing here locally and how all of this connects with the work that the Gendercide Awareness Project is doing with women across the world. I just want to share a little bit, real briefly, about my background, some of the laws that impact women right here in our state and in our community, and just quick, so I grew up here in Dallas. I was born and raised in the Pleasant Grove area of Dallas, just on the south side of 175. And my dad came initially as an undocumented immigrant to our country. He's proud to be an American citizen now. He's proud to be a Texan. And he came with two things. He came with a 6th grade education, and the second thing that he came with was a dream. And you know, he had this dream for a better life, the dream that's not unlike the dream of many individuals that come to our great country. The one thing that my parents emphasized to me over and over was education, education, education. You've got to focus on your education. You can go be the doctor, the attorney, or whatever you want to be, but also don't forget where you came from, and give back and serve, and treat people right. And sadly, we're not seeing a lot of that in our national political landscape, and sometimes here, you know, in our state politics, which I won't get into. I wouldn't heard everything. But you know, I think my parents worked really hard, and what they did is I want to share with you my educational background, because I went to driving from Pleasant Grove. If y'all know, like the neighborhood back there, driving, there were 3 of us. I went to Ursuline Academy in Dallas, an all-girls school in North Dallas. As you know, the school is surrounded by mansions. It's in a beautiful part of town, and so there were 3 of us that commuted from the Pleasant Grove part of town. It took us about an hour to get to Ursuline every day, and just seeing the beautiful houses, seeing that a lot of my classmates their parents were doctors, were attorneys, had gone to college. You know, that opened up my eyes, 1, to the wealth gap in our city, and 2, to the importance of public education, because one's education should not be based on the zip code in which they live. And so that's why, you know, I'm a big advocate of fighting for our public schools. And so now, as an attorney in the legislature, decided to run because I was not happy with a lot of. In Dallas, when we filed the bill earlier this year, Dallas County alone, DPD had about 1,100 untested, and Dallas County Southwest Institute of Forensic Sciences had another 1,400. There are thousands more across the state, and the reason that's often cited for that is because of funding. Each test ranges between $300 to $2,000 to test, depending on how much evidence, how much DNA evidence is out there. And so what our legislation does is you will see, starting in January, whenever you go apply for or renew your driver's license, your commercial driver's license, or your personal ID, you're going to see a box where you can donate $1 or any amount that you would like, and those funds will go towards the testing of evidence in sexual assault cases. I will tell you that we shouldn't have to be coming to our fellow Texans to fund this issue. Our state should be fully funding it. Due to our work with the Appropriations Committee, allocated an extra $4 million, but that's still not enough. The Legislative Budget Board that analyzes the fiscal impact of bills estimates that our bill is expected to generate $1 million, which would be tremendous. And so I just ask, whenever you see that on your driver's license, you'll also see it on your motor vehicle registrations, that you contribute any amount that you would like to help address this issue, and hopefully one day end the backlog of thousands of untested kids right here in our state. But I also want to share, so in Texas, another big issue that we have is equal pay gap. Right now in Texas, women earn 79 cents on the dollar for the same work that a man does, their male counterparts. In African American women earn 59 cents on the dollar. And Latina women earn 44 cents on the dollar for the same work that a man does. We do not have equal pay for equal work in Texas. That's something that we need to continue to work across the board to try to find some solution to address this, because it's not just a woman's issue. It benefits the whole family whenever a woman earns and has those extra dollars in her pocket that she can provide for her family. I think you had, I noticed on there it said the Dallas Women's March earlier this year. So I was elected the last November election and was sworn in this January 10th. And we heard about women's marches all across our country. We knew that we have to do something here in Dallas. And I was very proud to have pulled together a great group of organizations that helped us plan the Dallas Women's March in January. We thought we might have a few hundred folks show up and started planning, and we're just amazed. And if any of you came, I want to thank you for coming. We were just amazed at more than 10,000 people, all backgrounds, who showed up on this January for the Dallas Women's March, which I think was a historic day in our city. And I think we feel that the times, we're in a time where we have to do something, right, about lots of issues. And so I was very pleased to see the turnout on that. One additional issue that the legislature addressed, I'm a big believer that we've got to work across the aisle, that Democrats and Republicans, we need to put our differences aside to try to find common ground to be able to pass policy that benefits our entire state. I think that's why we were successful in passing so many bills, because for me, it wasn't about the party, it was about the issue and how can we work together. One of the issues where both sides came together on was to address the issue of maternal mortality in our state. Texas, during the special session, the governor made that a priority item, and Texas has the highest maternal mortality rate of any state in the country. Pregnancy-related deaths of women who pass away within 6 months are the highest even of some third world countries. Not the type of Texas that we want to live in, and there are numerous reasons. And so by working together, the Texas House and the Senate were able to pass bills to address the maternal mortality rate in our state, and I'm very hopeful that we've got to continue to work on issues like that. But when we talk about these issues and the importance of education, and when I started reading up on the issue of gendercide and how, you cut me off whenever, I'm going to try to hurry here, and how we don't hear this term very often in our country. And so I think one of the important things one of the other amazing statistics that I want to share with you that I've heard is that 65 million girls globally are not in school. And the United Nations reports that 796 million women are illiterate across the world. Education in many parts of our world it's a matter of life and death. Sometimes we know that girls go to school and then after a certain age they drop out because they have to provide for their families. And so when I've read about the work that the Gendercide Awareness Project is doing to raise funds to send these girls to school is incredible. We know that education is the key, is the answer to so many issues, not just here in Texas, but across the country and the world. And if we know that a young woman is educated, that is the way out of poverty. It was what helped get me. That is a key, a tool that helps move families forward. And so I'm happy to see and appreciate all of the work that you're doing. We also know that we hear this term that Secretary Hillary Clinton had said in the past, that women's rights are human rights and human rights are women's rights. I think that aptly applies to the work that Gendercide Awareness Project is doing to make sure that girls have access to education, because it is a right that individuals should be afforded. I'm going to end with this, that we all need to work together. Right now in this, sometimes we hear, I talked to a lot of senior members in the legislature who told me this was the worst legislative session ever, the most divisive political climate that they've seen in years. when we talk about certain issues, whether it's immigration or whatever other issues, it's gotten to the point where it is so divisive. We are seeing discrimination and things. Our little kids are hearing things that they shouldn't be hearing in school. And I just want to ask, I think it's time that we all need to come together. We know that love trumps hate. We know that we should have compassion for others. We should treat other people the way that we want to be treated. And I'm just very hopeful that that things will change. And I believe that it will. And I believe that we're seeing a rise in energy and excitement for individuals who are not happy with the status quo. And so I would love to see our community come together again, and we're going to continue to come together and fight for issues and put our differences aside to fight for issues that benefit all Texans and all individuals across our country. And so I just want to thank again Beverly for the opportunity to be here. Our district office is in Mesquite. I'm very honored to represent House District 107. It covers part of East Dallas, part of Lakewood, Lockwood, Gossip View, part of South Garland, and the majority of Mesquite. And so please do not hesitate to reach out to our office, and we're happy to be here as a resource as well. So just thank you so much for the opportunity.